Nappa! What's going on, guys? Hope you all had a fantastic week. Been pretty busy, just got back from a business trip, but yeah, still plenty of exciting stuff to review, so hopefully I can get through some of that this weekend. If you're new to this channel, thank you very much for stopping by. Please feel free to subscribe, and without further ado, let's take a look at tonight's review. And we are looking at the SH Figuarts Nappa, which is a Tamashii Nations web exclusive. So I did pick this up online on their website, and it came in last weekend. Pretty exciting stuff, as I've mentioned in my other previous Dragon Ball Z figure reviews, that, you know, Tamashii Nations are pumping out a lot of cool figures, a lot of cool Dragon Ball Z characters. We have Yamcha and Tien coming up really soon, and we have the new Super Saiyan 3 Goku coming out this month. Exciting stuff. But let's take a look at the packaging first of all. We have Nappa smiling at us, grinning at us through the window there. SH Figuarts Nappa down on the side. Some promo pics there, which carries on to the side of the box there in black and white. On the back there, we get some more promotional pictures of Nappa in some cool poses with his no, I shouldn't say it, pleasure giving hands. He's I forget what move that is. Nappa's exploding wave attack, and yes, I had to go away to look up what that attack was called, but at least we know officially what it is called now. And looking at the bottom here, we do have Nappa with his other accessory, which is another effect piece, which is fantastic. Always love Dragon Ball Z effect pieces, and of course we've got Vegeta pictured there with him as well. And that's pretty much it for the packaging, so let's get this big fella out. And here is Nappa right out of the package, and the first thing you notice is just how hefty this figure is. When I got him in the mail, before opening him, I was like, wow, this figure or this box is actually pretty heavy. So you do get a lot of figure from Nappa. He is not the biggest figure. Obviously we got Broly, and that is the biggest Dragon Ball Z figure to date. In terms of height, he is around the same height as Android 16, but obviously this guy does have a little bit more girth, a bit more muscle to him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Tamashii Nations was actually testing the waters with Broly to see how well a larger scale, well, not a larger scale, but a larger Dragon Ball Z figure would do in the market. And depending on how successful Broly was, they would, I guess, go ahead with decide whether to go ahead with Nappa or not. I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but this isn't the first time we saw Nappa. We did see a prototype of Nappa, not necessarily this particular Nappa, but a version of Nappa a few years back. I don't know where and I don't know when, but it was during one of Tamashii Nations exhibitions or displays somewhere. But that's when I heard that the release of Nappa would be dependent on how successful Broly did, and luckily Broly was a successful figure. I really do hope they re-release it, because I did miss out on it, and I heard that it was a fantastic figure. But you know, this also means that we'll be getting, you know, different scale, different sized figures in the Dragon Ball Z line, which is really good news, since Dragon Ball Z has a lot of unique and different sized characters in the series. Paint wise, everything is done really neatly. We get some nice paint detail there in the face as well. This is the scouter head that Nappa comes with, but everything is really clean, really sharp. We do get some shading in the skin tone as well, and it goes over to the back. It's subtle, but it's there, and it's done really nicely. For the body armor, it's just your flat blacks, browns, and whites, again done really neatly and really nicely. And we do get some nice shading there on the muscles, on the arms. You know, they didn't overdo it. I think it's just enough. Fantastic sculpt work there on the arms. He does have his Osaru tail, which is painted in sculpted in a darker brown. Looking at his torso there, again, nice flat clean paint job. Again, excellent sculpt work in the legs, some nice shading. And moving on to his feet, again, really nice, really clean paint work there. No complaints from me at all. No sculpting there on the underside of his feet, but not the end of the world. And looking at the articulation of Nappa, for a larger Dragon Ball Z figure, he actually has some really nice points of articulation and actually moves really, really well. So hitting it off with the head. His head is on a ball joint. His neck, again, like most of the newer Dragon Ball Z figures, his neck is on a separate piece, not connected to the torso. So you do get a good range of motion going up. He can look up quite well, and he can dig his chin into his chest really nicely as well. Being a tall figure, he's going to look down on the shorter characters, especially Vegeta. So that range of movement is very necessary. His head moves side to side, and yes, you do get some tilt there as well. So like the Saiyan Saga Vegeta, Nappa does have a hinge in his shoulder armor, so it does move up and down. His shoulders, his arms move out a little less than 90 degrees. He does have a butterfly joint there, which does give him a slight movement in and slight movement outward. Nothing major, but it is there. So it does give him some range of movement in his shoulders. Obviously he does have the full 360, but the shoulder armor there is gonna get in the way. He also has upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which does give him better than 90 degrees, which is fantastic, especially how big his biceps, his arms are. So that is fantastic. He does have wrist swivel, and it is on a hinge. And Nappa has a upper and lower torso joint, so he does get, click, that much forward and that much back. He can tilt his body left and right, and he does have swivel at the waist as well. Again, the armor pieces there on the side and on the front, they do move, so they won't hinder any leg articulation. Speaking of leg articulation, Nappa can kick forward 90 degrees, which is nice, and he does move his legs back that much. He can do the splits. It's not fantastic, but I think enough is there. He does have a upper thigh swivel. You got to be careful because with my version, sorry, my copy, his leg does come loose, so it might just be mine. Hope that is not a running issue with all of the Nappas, but yeah, just something to note. He does have a double jointed knee, which does get past 90 degrees, which is great. However, the knee joint isn't the best looking knee joint. It is well sculpted, but when you push the knee back that much, you do get that kind of that section that connects the thigh and the lower leg together, and it is a little ugly when you kind of have it like that. He has side to side swivel there at the foot, moves his foot quite far down, not too much, stiff, but he does have toe articulation and some really nice ankle pivot there. Some of the best ankle pivot I've seen in a Dragon Ball Z figure. It's really stable, it goes pretty far in, and something that I hope Bandai continues, because I've been pretty disappointed with the ankle pivot with some of the newer figures, especially Trunks and Vegeta, but I hope the newer Dragon Ball Z figures follow suit. Okay, and for accessories, Nappa comes with a series of heads, 4 in total, and it does kind of actually look kind of creepy having Nappa's heads all lined up like that. But let's have a look at his first head. It is the Scouter head. Very well sculpted, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. You can see all the teeth are sculpted really nicely. His moustache there, some nice shading on the skin, and the Scouter is looking really nice as well. The plastic here, it's a clear purple plastic, which is show accurate and very well done. He also gets the exact same head, except without the Scouter. And these things here, I'm not really sure why they've done this. I believe that they actually had these pegs or these head display stands. I'm not really sure what they are, but they included them, and it's not the first time they've included these head display stands, I guess you can call them. But I think they had it with Android 17, Android 18 with Krillin's head, the bonus Krillin head that came with Android 18. He also comes with a "oh no, how did he get behind me so fast" head. I don't know if you guys remember that scene, but I think it's when Goku, when he's facing off with Goku, and he kind of gets behind Nappa really quickly, and he's surprised at how fast Goku is. So I think that's that face right there. And he also comes with a shouting angry face, and you can see the veins on his forehead looking really cool right there as well. Nappa also comes with a pair of fisted hands, which he comes packaged in. Some nice shading there on the knuckles. Comes with a pair of fighting posing hands, I guess. Very well done. A pair of, I guess, saluting, open palm, karate chop hands, whatever you want to call them. And he also comes with his whatever you want to use this hand for, but officially it is for his I forget now, what is it called? Exploding wave. There we go. Exploding wave attack. Yeah, very sorry about that, guys, but yes, his exploding wave attack hand. And one thing that I always appreciate, Nappa also comes with a fantastic looking energy wave. It's not really bright. It's kind of like a dark translucent yellow that kind of fades into a clear, but it's not your standard straight energy ball. It's kind of curved, which is pretty cool, and it does come with a stand that you can plug it into, and you can display it however you want. And just quickly, here we have some size comparisons, again with the Saiyan Saga Vegeta version 2. Both of these guys look fantastic together. just like they were in the animation. I don't have the original non-Super Saiyan Goku, just the Super Saiyan Goku, but here he is just for references. And we also do have Piccolo, and I think these are the only characters that were in that particular saga in that particular time. I do not have Krillin, unfortunately, and as I mentioned before, Yamcha and Tien will be coming out really soon. So just my final thoughts about the figure. I think for casual collectors, you could skip this one. You might want to skip this one because it is, again, a web exclusive, and it is a little bit more expensive than your regular figures. Might be a little bit hard to find, and I think, for a lot of people, Nappa might not be your favorite character. When you think of Dragon Ball Z villains, you think Frieza, you think of Cell, you think of Buu, not so much, Nappa. But for the avid Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts 6-inch scale collector, a definite must-have, I think. It is really a fantastic figure, just really well sculpted, fantastic paintwork, excellent articulation for its size, and you get some decent accessories as well. Just really expanding on the Dragon Ball Z universe and pumping out all these characters that we grew up with as kids in figure form. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are after more Dragon Ball Z action, then please check out my mate's channel, DB ActChang. He's doing some reviews on some Dragon Ball Z statues. I'll have a link to his channel in the description below. So do check that out and support his channel. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. So have a safe and enjoyable weekend, and I will see you for the next one.